Hello everyone, welcome to General Mathematics class. We are now in quarter 2 and our topic for today is all about simple interest. For our objective is to illustrate simple interest. But before that, will you please open your browser and then type in joinmyquiz.com. You will be asked to enter the code and our code is 14979782. The quiz is composed of 10 items. You are given 5 seconds to answer each question. That's why I'm going to give you 3 minutes to finish the activity. Okay, you may start now. How did you find the quiz class? Was it easy? Did you get high scores? Was it interesting? I hope so. I will check on your scores later. Okay, before we start with our lesson, let us watch this video clip. It is just a short one. This is the link. This is just 1 minute and 28 seconds. Please watch from the very beginning till the end because this will give you an idea on what simple interest is. Okay, you may start now. How did you find the video? Was it interesting? Did you get an idea? Do you think those ideas will be used in our lesson? Okay, let's find out. We will start our lesson with the definition of terms. The terms that I'm going to say here are the terms which you may be encountering during the topic in interest. We have here the lender or the creditor. It is the person or institution who invests the money or makes the funds available. Another one, we have the borrower or the debtor. It is the person or institution who owes the money or avails of the funds from the lender. Another one is the origin or the loan date. It is the date on which money is received by the borrower. Another is the repayment date or maturity date. It is the date on which the money borrowed or loaned is to be completely repaid. Next, we have here the time or term, which is denoted by small letter t. It is the amount of time in which, in years, the money is borrowed or invested. Length of time between the origin and the maturity dates. Another is the principal, or what we call the present value, which is denoted by big letter P. It is the amount of money borrowed or invested on the origin date. Next, we have the rate of interest or simply rate, which is denoted by small letter r. It is the annual rate, usually in percent, charged by the lender or rate of the increase of the investment. Next, we have here the interest, or this is denoted by big letter I. It is the amount paid or earned for the use of money. Another is the maturity value or future value, which is denoted by big letter F. It is the amount after 30 years that the lender receives from the borrower on the maturity date, equal to the sum of the principal and the interest earned. So these terms are the terms you might encounter in the topic. Okay? Now let's go to the definition of simple interest. Simple interest, which is denoted by I sub s, is the interest charged on the principal alone for the entire duration or period t of the loan or investment at a particular rate r. After the term of the loan or investment, the maturity value or future value f is computed by getting the sum of the principal and the interest due. So we have here the formula for I sub s, which is equal to PRT. That's the only formula in solving for I sub s. Another formula we have here, it is a formula in solving for f, which is equal to P plus I sub s. Or we could use f is equal to p plus PRT, or the other one, f is equal to p times the quantity 1 plus RT. But the most simplest or easiest way to solve for f is equal to p plus I sub s. Another formula is the formula in solving for p, which is equal to I sub s divided by r times t, or p is equal to f minus I sub s. The two different formulas will be used depending on the given data. Another formula is formula in solving for t is equal to I sub s divided by p times r. And the last formula is the formula in solving for r, which is I sub s divided by p times t, where I sub s is what we call the simple interest, p is the principal, r is the rate of interest or simply rate, t is the time in year, f is the future value or maturity value. Note, if the given time is in months, can be converted to year or years by using this formula. T is equal to number of months divided by 12. Please always take note of this. Okay? Now let's solve an example. Complete the table below by solving the unknown quantities in each row. So we have here the table, and we're going to solve for the first column, simple interest and the future value. So these are the given. P is equal to 10,000, R is equal to 5%, T is equal to 2 years, I sub s is unknown. Now we will solve for the simple interest. But before you proceed to the formula, we will convert 5% to decimal form. That's why 5% is equal to 0.05, therefore R is equal to 0.05. So always remember that rate is always given in percent. That's why you will always convert that to decimal form. What formula are we going to use? We only have one formula in solving for I sub s, or the simple interest, which is the PRT, or the principal times rate times time. So substituting the value, I sub s is equal to P is equal to 10,000, rate is now converted to 0.05, and the time is in 2 years, which if we're going to multiply those, you will come up with the answer 1,000. So therefore, the simple interest is equal to 1,000 pesos. Next, we're going to solve for the future value, or the letter F, in the same column. So these are the given. P equals 10,000, R equals 5%, T is 2 years, I sub s is 1,000, and solve for F. What formula are we going to use? Since we have 3 formulas here, we're going to use either of them. Okay? We can use F is equal to P plus I sub s, because P is present, I sub s is also present. We can also use F is equal to P plus PRT, because P is given also, R is given, and time is given. Or we can also use F is equal to P times the quantity 1 plus RT. So any of them can be used. But we will use F is equal to P plus I sub s, because this is the easiest one. Substituting the value, we have F is equal to 10,000 plus 1,000, that will be equal to 11,000. Therefore, the future value after 2 years is equal to 11,000 pesos. Okay, next we go to the next column. The principal is unknown. Rate is 2.5%. Time is 4 years. And the simple interest amount is 1,500. So these are the given. Before you proceed to the formula, we're going to convert 2.5% to decimal form, and that would be equal to 0.025. Therefore, R is equal to 0.025. What formula are we going to use? We will use P is equal to I sub S divided by RT because there is a data on I sub S, also a data on rate, and data on time, which is 4 years. So substituting the value, we get P is equal to 1,500, which is the value of I sub S, divided by 0.025. After converting to 0.5, it became 0.025 and 4 years. So calculating on that, we will get 15,000 pesos. So therefore, the principal amount is 15,000 pesos. Okay, next, we will solve for the future value or F. These are the given. R is 2.5, T is 4 years, I sub S is 1,500, P is 15,000, and you are going to solve for F. What formula are we going to use? We have again 3 formulas below, and we will use that. Any of them will be used. As I've said earlier, that we will use the easiest one, okay? Which is F is equal to P plus I sub S. Okay, substituting the value, we have F is equal to P plus I sub S. P is equal to 15,000 plus I sub S equal to 1,500. That would be equal to 16,500. Therefore, the future value or maturity value is equal to 16,500. Next, we go to the third column. We have here the principal, 20,000. Rate is unknown. Time is in year and months, 1 year and 6 months. And we have the simple interest amount to 4,500. So these are the given. So before we decide to which formula are we going to use, let us observe the given time. It is given in year and months. Is this 6 months allowed to be used? Okay, no. As we said earlier, that if the given time is in months, we will convert first to year. We need to convert 6 months into year. By how? Of course, we're going to use this formula. T is equal to the number of months divided by 12. After converting months to years, we will add that to the given time, which is 1 year. Okay? So substituting the value, we have 6 divided by 12 is equal to 0.5. Therefore, our time now is equal to 1.5 years. What formula are we going to use now? We will use the one and only formula, which is R is equal to I sub S divided by P times T. So substituting the value, we have 4,500, which is the I sub S, P is 20,000, and 1.5 is the time. That would be equal to 0.15. Okay, since the computed value is in decimal form and we are asked to solve for the rate, then we need to convert 0.15 to percent form. How to convert percent form? Anyone? So we have here, we are just going to multiply it by 100 to get its percent form. So therefore, the rate is 15%. Okay, next, we will solve for the future value. And these are the given. P is equal to 20,000. T is 1.5 years. I sub S is 4,500. And rate is equal to 15%. So, how do we compute for the future value? What formula are we going to use? course, again, we will use the simplest one since P is given and I sub S is also given in the data. So substituting the value, F is equal to P plus I sub S. We will now have 20,000 plus 4,500. We will get 24,500. So therefore, our future or maturity value is equal to 24,500 pesos. Next, we go to the next column. We have here the principal of 50,000 pesos. Rate is 0.5%. Time is unknown. Simple interest amount of 1,500 and the future value also is unknown. Okay, these are the given. What formula are we going to use? We will use time is equal to I sub S divided by PR because this is the only formula in solving for T. Okay, substituting the value, we have T is equal to I sub S divided by PR and 1,500 divided by 50,000 times 0.005. Okay, by the way, we also converted 0.5% to decimal form. That becomes 0.005 is equal to 1,500 divided by 50,000 times 0.005, we will get 250. So we have here 1,500 divided by 250 is equal to 6 years. Therefore, the time is equal to 6 years. Okay? For the future value, we will not show anymore how to solve that because you know that already. To solve for future value, you use the formula P plus I sub S. And for the column number 5, it is just the same as in column number 1. So I'll leave that to you. Okay? Okay, we will have now you go to your browser again and then we will go back to joinmyquiz.com, the same code, and we will find out if you got higher scores than the other activity. Okay? I'm going to give you again 3 minutes to finish the activity. Okay. Did you get higher scores now? I hope so. I will check your scores later. Now we will go to application of the simple interest. We have here the problem. A bank offers 1.5% annual simple interest rate for a particular deposit. How much interest will be earned if 1 million pesos is deposited in his saving account for 1 year? So what are the given? Anyone? Okay, these are the given. The rate is equal to 1.5%. And we're going to convert that to decimal, which will be equal to 0.015. P is equal to 1 million. And T is equal to 1. What formula are we going to use? We will use I sub S is equal to PRT. This is the only formula that we have. Okay, so substituting the value, I sub S is equal to PRT. And so we have 1 million times 0.015 times 1 is equal to 15. So therefore, the simple interest is 15,000 pesos. Okay, do you have any question? Now we'll go to the next. When invested at an annual interest rate 7%, the amount earned is 11,200 of the simple interest in 2 years. How much money was invested? What are the given data? Yes, we have here the data. R is equal to 7%, and we will convert that to decimal. That will become 0.07. I sub S is 11,200 and time is 2.5 years. What is as? Or from the given, what are we going to find out? What are we going to solve? Yes, we're going to solve for the principal. Okay, so what our formula are we going to use? We will use the formula P is equal to I sub S divided by RT since they are already given. I sub S is given as 11,200. Rate we have here 0.07 and time is equal to 2.5. So substituting the value, we will get 11,000 divided by 0.07 times 2.25. That will be equal to 0.364. So we have here 11,000 divided by 0.364. That will be equal to 30,219.78. Okay, so therefore the principal amount is 30,219.78. Okay, another one. So we have here Ricky borrowed 25,000 pesos and paid 1,250 interest for 6 months. What was the rate of interest? Okay, what are the given? These are the given. We have here the principal, 25,000 pesos. I sub S, or the simple interest, which is 1,250. Time is given in months, so we will convert that to year. That will be equal to 0.5 year. And the question is, what was the rate of interest? That means we are solving for R. And what formula are we going to use? We will use R is equal to I sub S divided by P times T. There is only one formula in solving for the rate. So substituting the value, we got R is equal to 1,250. That is our simple interest divided by 25,000, which is the principal, and time, which is 0.5. That would be equal to 1,250 divided by 12,500, which now be equal to 0.1, but that will be equal to 10%. So that is the rate of interest. Okay, next, we have here number 4. How long in years will it take for 17,300 pesos to amount to 20,000 pesos at 11.25% interest rate? Okay, these are the given. We have here 17,300. That will now be our principal. F is 20,000 pesos. Rate is 11.25%, or that will be converted to decimal form. It will become 0.1125, and time is unknown. Time is unknown. By this term, how long? This is now the clue. That is why T is unknown. Okay, compute first for the value of interest before you proceed to the main solving of T, or time. So I sub S is equal to F minus P. We will use this because in the given data, we have here 20,000, and we also have principal, which is 17,300. That is why this is the formula that we are going to use. So the answer is 2,700. That is now our simple interest, or the I sub S. Okay, compute for the time, or T. Use the formula T is equal to I sub S divided by P times R. This is the only formula also in solving for T. Now substituting the value, we have T is equal to I sub S equals 2,700 divided by P or the principal is 17,300 times the rate is 0.1125. That will now be equal to 1,946.25. So therefore, 2,700 divided by 1,946.25, that will be equal to 1.39 years. So that is now the time. That will be the time wherein 17,300 will become 20,000 pesos at 11.25% simple interest. Okay? Do you have any question? Okay. You're going to answer the following together with the output that you're going to submit to our Google Classroom. You're going to list 3 things you have learned in this module. Next, you're going to list 2 things you would like to learn more. And you're going to list 1 question you have in our video lesson. And for our performance task, select 1 activity from the following. We have here activity 1. Find the simple interest on a loan of 65,000 pesos if the loan is given at the rate of 2% and is due in 5 years and 3 months. And number 2, how much money will you have after 4 years if you deposited 10,000 pesos in a bank that pays 6% simple interest? You may choose activity 1, or we have another activity 2. You can choose this. Narrate 1 scenario of your own showing the application of simple interest. You may choose this, or you may choose activity 3, which is to sketch 1 scenario of your own showing the application of simple interest. Any of the 3 activities, you may choose one of them. Okay? Then after that, you're going to submit to me your output in our Google Classroom. Okay? Thank you for listening. If you have any question, just message me in my personal messenger. Okay? Thank you, class, for listening.